I want to thank everybody for attending the meeting today. We are going to dive right into the VBA 24-hour accident medical expense plan, and if we have any time at the end of the training, we'll maybe tackle value med. But we really want to immerse you in this product. Essentially what you're selling here is a membership, the VBA membership, and it's got accidental benefits built into this. That accidental benefit is meant to cover a high deductible. 99% of our agents write this in conjunction with high deductible insurance plans to protect that out-of-pocket exposure. The cool thing about our accident plan is it's built in with all this membership features that really, when you use these features, you optimize the use of the product. So you're actually using the product without actually having an accident and having to use it for the insurance portion. When members use this plan for the membership features, they just feel like they're getting 10 times more value out of something they're spending their money on. A lot of people don't use insurance until they need it. This kind of plan you can actually use throughout the whole duration. And if you use these membership benefits, the value that you get supersedes the cost tenfold. Okay, so we're going to dive right into what is accident medical expense and some of the reasons why it's so important. Accidents definitely happen. Supplemental accident coverage and health insurance work together to protect people. One injury could easily cost thousands of dollars. Most people don't have enough savings in their bank account to cover a planned deductible or those out-of-pocket expenses. I mean, the question comes up, do you have $5,000 in your bank, or would you rather, have a policy in force like this to, pay that $5,000? So accident insurance helps fill in that gap. Okay. The unexpected costs that come with major med are the co-payments, the deductibles, and the co-insurance. This will coordinate benefit with the primary insurance and fill in those particular gaps. So accident insurance is an affordable solution for the cost of today's higher deductible health plans. I get this call a lot. What is our definition of an accident? Every policy is going to have a different definition, but this is what we define it as. Accident or accidental means a sudden, unforeseen, unexpected event. Happens by chance, arises from a source external to the insured person, independent of illness, disease, or other body malfunction or medical or surgical treatment thereof, occurs while the insured person is insured under the policy which is in force, and is the direct cause of loss. So when you sell the plan and somebody has an accident and they call you with the injury, as long as that injury or accident falls under this definition, go ahead and claim. And I've seen some crazy claims, dog bites, bee stings, many, many different things, but make sure that it's happening external to the covered person. Okay, because that's pretty important. We have food poisoning that comes up quite a bit. That is considered a sickness, so that actually isn't an accident injury, although nobody really intends on getting sick from eating their food. Okay, so why accident medical expense coverage? I mean, obviously to cover the deductible. So consider the effect a common accident may have on the financial picture, because you never know when somebody in your family could get hurt in an accident. That's why accident medical expense coverage can be helpful when the unexpected happens. The cost of medical treatment is very expensive. It's only getting worse and worse by the day as far as expenses go. So having that accident medical coverage will protect you financially. And it's a great decision. So being prepared for that worst case scenario is a phenomenal decision. Present them with the positive scenario and then the negative scenario. The positive is they have this in force. When they have that accident, they pull the policy out of their pocket and they use that to pay for the deductible. That's the positive experience. Negative would be they don't have this in force, and then they have to come up with that first $5,000 to get their claim taken care of. So the cost of medical treatment, again, is very expensive. It's only going up. You got to be prepared for these worst case scenarios. To protect you and your family financially, this should be the utmost priority to buy an accident medical expense plan along with a critical illness, which is suitable to you and affordable as well, to be prepared for those unexpected incidents. Again, we have different benefit amounts ranging from $2,000 up to $25,000 to really meet the needs of the cost for the members. Benefits are paid directly to you or the insured. The way this works is if they supply us just bills and they're not prepaid, then we're going to pay the provider on their behalf. If they go in for a minor accident, and say it's $200-300 and they pay for that up front, maybe they have that in their bank account, then we'll reimburse the insured. So it's either provider or the insured, depending on how the bill was paid or not paid at all. We have multiple benefit levels, so you can choose the monthly cost. It absolutely works for the insured. A lot of agents will match our benefit amount up with the deductible amount to try to get that very close. In fact, in some cases, we may be able to match it up perfectly with that number. There is no network on this plan. We do have some association network discounts that you can get for dental and prescriptions and things like that, but no specific network, so you get to choose where you want to get the care. It is automatic acceptance all the way through age 64, or to age 64. And then it doesn't just cancel at 65, so the benefits are actually 100% payable through the age 69 all the way to 70. So make sure the insured knows that if you're writing some, older couple and the husband turns 65, this doesn't just automatically cancel. They'll have to physically call in that cancellation to end the coverage. And again, it's built with all this association membership discounts and savings. We're going to dive into those here in a second. And when you see these things, you'll understand how much power and how much value this little association plan that costs, it's very affordable, provides so much bang for the buck. Some of the features includes MD Hotline. MD Hotline, if you weren't a member with us, would actually cost $59 a call. That's what they charge non-members. Our membership gives it away for free. So they have unlimited use with the MD Hotline. I want everybody to listen to this. MD Hotline starts 30 days after the effective date of the accident plan. And the effective date of the accident plan is always going to be the first of each month. So if we're writing business today and we're looking for a November 1st effective, MD Hotline would start on December 1st. Okay, 30 days out, MD Hotline starts. It also comes with Pet Assure membership. Okay, this is a discount. It's not insurance, but if you access a participating pet clinic in your area, you can receive up to a 25% discount on your medical bill. They do need to have to be a part of the Pet Assure network, but our members get access to these clinics and they can save a ton of money just through these particular discounts. And a lot of people have pets. ID theft recovery. This is basically our version of LifeLock. Okay, tremendous value, probably around $80-90 a year is what LifeLock would cost on the basic service. So you're getting that kind of value just with the membership for the ID theft. Global Fit. This is a gym network. Basically gives you access to eating programs, healthy and wellness programs. Gym membership prices are going to be reduced if you find participating gyms a part of the Global Fit network. We also have the Enhanced Benefits Card. I have this card myself. It's for members and non-members. So the agents that are on the call today, if you wanted to use the EBC card or the Enhanced Benefits Card, you could do so and then advocate your experience to the client. Say you had the EBC card and you got sick and you had some antibiotic prescribed to you, you went down to the pharmacy, you presented your card, and you got a 20-30% discount. Those are the kind of experiences that you want to share with the client, speaking from experience, so that you actually save that money yourself. It just makes them feel that much better about purchasing the product. And again, what we're trying to do here is build value in the membership without actually having to use the insurance portion. And of course, when they have an accident, they'll use that. Dividend rewards. This is kind of like an online marketplace where we have things like restaurant.com, department stores, hotels, things like that. And our members get access to that. And then again, just different ways to save money. Okay, so diving into the MD Hotline, kind of the details about this. Have you ever needed a doctor while traveling or on the weekend, or needed a prescription? A lot of people can't get a hold of their doctor. If they have their prescription and they can send it over to MD Hotline, they can actually fill those as well. So you can access board certified physicians, and you don't have to go through the hassle of actually going down to a physical doctor, because you're on the phone with a nurse right away, and then she'll patch you through to a doctor if the doctor's available. In some cases during the sick seasons, you may have to get a call back depending on how busy the doctors are. The longest I've ever had to wait was probably 30 minutes. But again, tremendous value. You don't have to get in the car and pay a copay. This is free, built in. All physicians are, again, board certified, state licensed. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year. I've used this service myself 4 times. Love it. In fact, last time I had to use it, I had a prescription waiting down in the pharmacy within 2 hours after my call. And that's a lot better than actually going to a live doctor or possibly an urgent care. You may have to sit there. Prescriptions, again, can be called into your local pharmacy. Referrals available for specialist appointments. Besides MD Hotline being a telemedicine service, they have a video mode as well. You may have some mothers out there that have children that want to look the doctor in the eye just to have that comfort level. With MD Hotline, you'll be able to do that. They have webcam capability. And then down here where it says referrals available for specialist appointments, really what that means is they have concierge after teledoc and video doc isn't working. So if they can't treat you over the phone, without liability issues, they will actually find a specialist in your area for you or for the member to help them out so they don't have to look that stuff up themselves. One of the coolest things that separates our telemedicine service from others, and even physicians, just local physicians, they do a 24-hour follow-up call to the member after they've made the initial call in. And what that call does is they want to check in on the patient to see if they're feeling okay and if the service was up to par. This really does set the standard for personalizing this service. I can't tell you how many times I've actually heard from the agents and the members how cool they think this service is and how much money and time it saved them. It's simple to use. You just call 888-912-1600 or visit vbamembers.com for additional details. The one thing that they can't do is DEA-controlled substances. So they can't prescribe painkillers and things like that over the phone. You would actually have to physically see a doctor for that. And if there's any agents on the call that are licensed or in the state of South Carolina, the prescription service has not been approved in that state. So they can do orderly advice over the phone, but they just can't do the prescription service in the state of South Carolina. Jumping into our Pet Assured discount and savings. Again, one membership covers all your pets. Little did you know that in the United States, 60% of the population owns a pet. That's a very large number. Of that 60%, 40% own 2 pets. I'm sure the number just gets bigger as you get lower. But with that said, this discount can go a long way. I know personally that vet bills are not cheap. I have a pet myself, and I've actually used this particular discount. And bills through the veterinary is not cheap. So this really does go a long way. 25% could be a couple $100 depending on what the service or the need is. It's unlimited use. You can get additional discounts on grooming, pet supplies, and services. They do have a 24/7 lost pet recovery. That means that they're going to chip your pet for free. Oldest and largest vet network in the country. What you want to do is you want to go over to our members' website to find these pet clinics. You'll click on the little Pet Assured paw. It'll take you into some search engines so you can actually find particular vets in your area. If you have a vet in your area that's not a part of the network and they want to join, you could actually show them how to do that through the members' website. They do have the ability to join network if they're not a part of it already. The ID Theft Protection Program provides immediate and complete assistance in resolving all threats if your ID or credit has been compromised. We offer a fully managed restoration service that includes a personalized recovery plan. They actually assign somebody to you after the compromise, and they will do a post-recovery follow-up up to 12 months after the resolution. So you're not talking to multiple people when this happens. You're actually dealing with one person throughout the whole process, which really does provide you that additional security and warm and fuzzy feeling. It also includes members' parents and children under 25 living in the same household, so it does really offer a 3-generation coverage. Global Fit Gym Network, again, this is a large gym network that offers discounts and things, provides access to the best gyms and health clubs, fitness products, nutrition and eating programs. The whole point of this is really to encourage people to be healthy and well. We're at a day and age now where a lot of that's obvious. Lifestyle can really determine, how many claims you have or how sick you get. So, being healthy and having access to ways to save money doing it is a great thing. All right, our enhanced benefits card, or we call it the EBC card, it provides savings and discounts available to members as well as non-members. So agents that are on the call, if you don't own one of our policies, you can use this card yourself. And again, if you were to say use it for the dental savings, this could be very large. You know, maybe you needed a root canal. You go find a dentist in our network, you get the root canal done, and you save, you know, $300-400. That is something that you definitely want to share with the member as far as your experience go. And I've seen that much savings on the dental. Prescription's great. LASIK, you know, there's a lot of people that are on the fence of actually getting that LASIK procedure done because of the cost. I've seen discounted bills up to 50% on the LASIK discount. That's why we have 10 to 50% there. So again, you could have tremendous. That could be $1,000 savings, a $2,000 LASIK procedure. Dividend rewards program and savings. This is the access code, folks. If you want to write this down, 218-50605. That's the access code to sign up for the dividend rewards. And again, it's really meant for the members, but we want you as agents to also use this program. Speak from experience, go in there, use a couple of the discounts, and then again, share that experience with the client. They do receive savings in everything from appliances, home decor, furnishings, restaurants. You know, again, they have restaurant.com in here. It's very similar to Groupon, where you buy a $10 voucher and you get $20 of credit at a restaurant. Just ways to save money. Remember, we're building value. We're using this service. We're using the membership without actually having the accident, and we're getting more out of this policy or plan than we are putting in. So that's the whole, you know, the whole reason why we really want to buy these things. A lot of people will spend $600 a month on their catastrophic insurance, barely use it, but they'll really utilize something like this that is low cost and has some, you know, additional built-in features. This is the members website where you're going to access all this fun stuff that we just talked about, vbamembers.com. You would click on the little member benefit tab up here at the top, and it would open up all those different association membership features that we just discussed. Now we're getting to the accident insurance portion. This is the reason why people are buying it, is to protect that high deductible, because again, when the worst happens, they either have to have $5,000, $7,500, or $10,000 in their bank to pull out to protect themselves, or they can pull the policy out of their pocket and use our accident medical expense to pay for that deductible. So we definitely coordinate with primary insurance, and in some cases, agents actually sell this as a standalone. If it's as a standalone with no coordination, then it's just going to pay on the bills. If it's sold with a high deductible, it's going to coordinate with that. So it's going to want to know, you know, what those expenses are and what that deductible is. We're going to need the EOBs from the primary insurance to know where we can actually cap off the limitation on the payment. So it pays accident medical expenses after the deductible up to the plan max per accident per covered person. This means there's no limitation on how many accidents you have. Okay, as long as there's unpaid accident medical expense exposure, some sort of deductible, coinsurance, we will pay up to the policy limit per accident per covered person. Here's an example. If you have a family of 5 and they're driving down the road and they get into a rollover accident and all 5 of them are hurt, if all 5 of them had, you know, out-of-pocket expense, we would pay up to the policy limit for each one of them separately. Okay, bigger the family, bigger the value on this thing. AD&D benefit comes with it. It caps out at $10,000, does not get any higher than that. We have some smaller amounts for our $2,000, $5,000, and $7,500 plan. We'll show you guys those here in a minute. Citizenship in the United States is not required, but they must be here legally. We don't require a social on the application process, but they will need to prove who they are when they go to claim. Okay, so they definitely have to be here legally and provide some sort of ID number to identify them legally. Benefits are payable again through age 69. It doesn't just automatically cancel at 65. So it's important that they know that. We've actually had a lot of people keep this in force, and it kind of is a saving grace for a lot of people that, you know, have it in their late 60s. Because as we all know, as we get older, our balance gets a little off. Accidents are a little bit more prone to happening. So it's a really good solution for those people. And sometimes the Medicare bill isn't going to, you know, tackle all of it. So this would actually pay the excess charge that the Medicare didn't pay. Issue ages are 18 to 64. If you want to put children on the plan, they got to be full-time students between the age 19 and 25 to be eligible as dependents. Other than that, just eligibility is under the age 18. Important to know, enrollment forms completed and submitted by the end of the month are guaranteed to become effective. Now we're going to jump into the billing and the effective date just slightly. We're going to talk about that just for a second, and then we'll talk about it here in a little bit more here in a minute. The policy goes into effect on the 1st of each month, and auto drafts or auto charges the client on the 16th. Kind of planting a seed right now. I want everybody to kind of know that, and then we will discuss a little bit more detail how the billing works. So it goes into effect on the 1st, auto drafts, auto charges on the 16th. These are our different benefit amount options here, ranging from $2,000 all the way up to $25,000. You know, my fingers are crossed. I hope that Major Med with underwriting will come back out, and my assumption is when that does, if it does, I hope that it does, we should have some very, very high deductible options, where this 15, 20, and 25,000 benefit amount really will play a role in lowering that insurance premium. And as you can see, very affordable in my opinion as far as the payout goes. And this really does give you an idea of how valuable the plan is in comparison to what you invest. So here's an accident example of a 15-year-old child playing soccer, and they either sprain or break their ankle. We have two examples here. The first example is somebody sprains their ankle, but they don't require surgery. Okay, it's just diagnosis and non-surgical treatment for a sprained or broken ankle. Typically costs around $2,500 or up to $2,500 bucks. The 5,000 plan for the whole family year is $539 bucks and 40 cents. Again, that's the annual investment into the policy. One little accident could pay up to $2,500, which automatically supersedes your cost to the annual, your annual cost, and then we almost prepay the membership 3-4 years down the road for the member just on the expense of it we pay. Okay. Again, as you go into the higher benefit amounts, you really, really provide tremendous value on this thing because, again, the accident on the 10,000 plan only costs $779, and with a surgery with a broken ankle, that could potentially cost up to $10,000 right there. All your investment is $780, but you're going to get a payout up to $10,000. Again, that's just showing you how valuable this thing is to keep in force. If you're insured, say has the policy in force 9-10 months, and then call you up and say, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, we're just not having any accidents. I just feel that this isn't important to have in place. I'd like to cancel it. If they do that before they actually have an accident, they're not going to recover any of their money back. But they could literally keep that thing in force, have an accident the following week, get all their money back, plus thousands of dollars paid towards their bill, superseding their cost. So when they feel like they're not getting anything out of it, you really want to show them the features that are built in with the membership so they can use the policy throughout that 9-10 months without actually having that accident. If you're not good on the phone as far as saving business when those things happen, our customer service department has a gentleman by the name of Patrick. He often will kind of go ahead and remind them of why they have this in force. A lot of people forget, why do I have this accident plan? But when they call in to kind of inquire, Patrick reminds them the reason why you have it is because you don't probably have $7,500 or $10,000 in the bank. That's why you have this policy in force, to use this when that accident happens. One of the strongest features of our policy is there's not a waiting period for an accident. There is a 12-month waiting period for a pre-existing injury, but benefits are definitely available from day one of the effective. So if we're shooting for a November 1st effective today, policy goes into effect November 1st, you walk out the front door, trip down your steps, you could potentially have a benefit amount up to your policy limit with 1 day of coverage in force. So again, tremendous value there. The market, very vast. We obviously want to cover deductibles on the ACA, short term, anything with a high deductible we can marry with this. 28 million uninsured in the United States as of 2016. It's very difficult to get a current statistic on this. Self-employed, home-based companies, small business, without group health, temporary part-time workers. The service industry with restaurants, hotels, and bars, I'm going to encourage agents on the phone. If you're an over-the-phone agent, maybe this doesn't apply to you, but if you're a field agent part of the time, employers love two things that our stuff comes with. A, the MD hotline feature, because this will keep employees at work while they're sick, as long as they're not, throwing up on, things and coughing all over everybody. They can probably see and talk to the doctor from the workplace. It also keeps claims down on your workman's comp. We're going to dive a little bit of that into the next slide, but it's also great for independent truckers, or workers, construction workers, landscapers, all these different areas, including HSA or high deductible plan purchasers. But when it comes to the group stuff, I kind of like to show you guys an angle here. For one, minimum to start the group, minimum of 5 to maintain it. So you just need 5 employees to start this. It pays on and off the job. Okay, so if something happens at work, pays. Then they don't have to use the workman's comp. If they get hurt at home, they can also use this. And remember, it's built in with that unique MD hotline feature that, again, is not only attractive to the employer while they're at work, but it's attractive to the employees because they get to use that service when they're home and not at work. So it's really an accident plan built with a little sickness benefit. And then it avoids Monday morning claims. If you didn't know what a Monday morning claim is, what that is somebody has an accident over the weekend when they're not at work. And they come in on Monday morning and they fake an injury and then they claim on the workman's comp. This happens quite a bit, or I wouldn't even be mentioning it. But having this plan in force avoids those Monday morning claims. And what that does is it keeps the workman's comp premium down, because as you claim on that, it drives the rate up. So again, this is a kind of a great solution for those particular instances. How we bill a group, it's not charged to their bank account. We actually send them a monthly invoice about 2 weeks before the effective date, giving them time to adjust the bill if employees have been added, or maybe some employees have come off the list bill. Another thing to keep in mind, it will convert. So if somebody is on this list bill and they leave the company, they can actually keep the plan. We would just have to switch out the billing and end up charging their bank account, but they can keep this in force and actually leave with it when they leave the company. We do have this available to submit online. If you have never used our enrollment system, the very first application page at the very bottom, it'll ask you, is this a centralized list bill? If you were actually doing the list bill itself, you would answer yes. You would put in the list bill number, and then all the applications that you enter under that number would fall into that particular group list bill for you. Very simple. If you ever have any questions about it, just call me and I can walk you through the process. Plus, we also have videos all over the place on YouTube, on our website, to actually navigate you through a lot of this stuff and show you how to do those things. Okay, here we go back to the billing. A couple things I want to kind of just bring up as far as the billing scenario goes. I want to give you guys a couple examples of how that would work. So again, because we're only working with one effective date of the month, which is the first, I want to give a couple scenarios so that we really have it, kind of understood. So somebody's submitting, let's see, today is what? The 24th. Okay, so today's the 24th. You're submitting an application online using our system. You're looking for a November 1st effective, and it's a bank draft. We will draft the member within 3 business days of enter. So it enters on a Wednesday. It'll probably draft their account by Monday the following week. Then the policy goes into effect, and it auto drafts on the 16th. Okay, so you're submitting on the 24th. It's hitting their account around the 27th, and then it's auto drafting on the 16th. The auto draft pays for the month ahead. Okay, that's one scenario. Scenario number 2, you're submitting on Halloween, October 31st. Our system will allow you to actually choose the first of the month as long as you get it in before midnight. So say it's 11:30 on Halloween night. You just got done trick-or-treating with all your kids, and you're putting in some business. Now the billing gets a little squirrely because you're submitting right at the end of the month, and we can't draft right that minute. So we end up drafting a few days into the month that they're in effect, and then again on the 16th. So be careful about this. If you're submitting business really late in the month, you really want to tell your client to expect that draft to come out, and then again on the 16th. Here's scenario number 3, and because we only work with one effective date of the month, we want to give you guys some flexibility as far as after the 1st on backdating. What we do is we allow the batch of business to kind of accumulate over probably 4 or 5 days after the 1st. Once it accumulates up to a certain amount, we actually send that batch to the carrier. If we have not sent the batch to the carrier, what I mean is the accumulation of all the new business for the last month, then with an email, we can go in and backdate policies as long as we haven't sent that batch to the carrier. So if you find yourself submitting business on the 1st, 2nd, or the 3rd, but you need it for the 1st, you would then email me that the insured needs to have the policy backdated, and they understand due to the backdate that they're going to get dual billed this month. So an email just confirming that the insured knows that they're going to get billed like on the 6th and then the 16th, we can go internally, pull the policy back out, re-enter it for the 1st so that they have that coverage in effect. And there's going to be a lot of times during open enrollment when you're waiting for something to approve and it may not approve until the 1st, 2nd, or the 3rd. If you're on the fence on whether we can do this, give me a call and I'll let you know if we've sent that batch in or not. If we haven't, we have the internal capability of doing that for you. And again, because we only work with one effective date of the month, we try to give you guys, some flexibility there to backdate policies. One other thing that I want to mention on billing is credit card. We don't encourage credit card use, although it's perfectly fine to use it. It's an extra $3 a month charge. So that adds up to about $36 for the year. It requires a post-verification call, meaning that somebody in our office is going to call your insured after you sell them the policy and verify that it's okay to charge their card. We get them on recording to do that, and what that does is it increases our persistency with the merchant. Okay, when your persistency numbers get low, you potentially might lose the relationship with the merchant and not be able to offer credit card at all. So this really ensures that we, keep that account, going and active. And it's just important that the client knows that somebody from our office, his name is Cody, is going to call them after the initial sale's been done to get them authorizing us to charge their card. Once we do that, we will issue the business. But keep in mind, if you're working with just a couple days around the 1st, you definitely want that verification call to happen as soon as possible so that we can make sure that they get the coverage in effect. So that is the billing. We do have an easy claim process. When your insured has the accident, they don't have to call us from the emergency room. They're usually in a panic and their emotions are all over the place. A couple days after the initial accident happens, they can call us. Technically, they have 90 days after the accident happens to call in the claim, and then 52 weeks to get it processed and paid. So a whole year. So 90 days to file, a whole year to get the thing paid. If for some reason your insured forgets they have this, which happens a ton, just include a nice note explaining what happened. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they were out of country. Whatever the case may be, include a nice note. And this is after the 90 days, kind of limitation. Include a note just explaining why you were late on submitting the claim. But other than that, try to get that claim submitted within just a few days of the actual incident happening. It's always best to do that. Whatever you do, do not mail or fax the claim bills to our office. Okay, this only upsets people because it delays the claim. So make sure that they follow the instruction here on the claim form and mail claims to Coordinated Benefits. By the way, we've been working with Coordinated Benefits now for about 7-8 years. And I can tell you this, I've been working with several TPAs over my career. This TPA sets the standard. I can literally count on my 10 fingers here how many times I've heard agents complain about our claim. And that's a very good response considering that we've had this TPA now in effect for 8 years. So very rare do I actually hear complaints about the claim process because we pay that well. If you're insured, can't retrieve the bills from the provider, our service will actually contact the provider and try to get those bills formed because we do require specific bills to process the claim. We give them full page examples here, accident claim form, the UB04, the CMS. These are actual full-page examples that we send them so that they can get the bills and match them up and make sure that that these are legitimate bills to send in for processing. Essentially, they need what's called CPT codes, which identify the billing as accident. That's very important. So essentially, they just call our office. We take notes on what happened. We send them out the claim form, and then they just follow the instruction on the claim form. It is a good idea, okay, to call the TPA within a week or so after you filed the claim to ensure that they have it, and then you can ask them, is there any outstanding requirements that I can start working on getting? You don't want to just submit the claim and then just call it a day. I would definitely call in within a week or so and just confirm that they have it on file and that they're working on it. And maybe, maybe they can tell you right there on the phone, okay, we have everything except this. And then you can, work on getting that and getting that process done a whole lot quicker. So when you appoint with our company, you're going to get a welcome email, and in that welcome email, it'll allow you to register. When you register, we create a personalized link for the agent to sell this online. So you do get a personalized link. We code that link to you automatically. So as long as that link is being used or being sent out, be used by a consumer, you get automatic credit for that. We've made it, we've made the selling easy by that. You can email these potential clients. You can put them on your website. I have all the web buttons and banners that correlate with the product. If you guys want to put that link up on your site and you want the buttons and the banners that go with it, just let me know. I'd be happy to send that over to you. When you do register, make sure that it's your name, phone number, and email address. We've had agents not know exactly what the registration was for, and they put their girlfriend or boyfriend's phone number there or somebody else's email address. So just make sure that that is agent information there. Now we're going to review before we get into the commission payout portion. Again, policy goes into effect on the 1st of each month. Auto drafts or auto charges the client on the 16th. Okay. We send that bill out on the 20th for that invoice to make sure that they get that bill paid before the 1st or around the 1st. Cancellations, which I obviously don't encourage, but if you get the cancellation in before the 15th, before we actually draft their account, you possibly can avoid a debit or a chargeback, and that would be for only advanced agents. So if you are an advanced agent and your client just refuses and they say, I want to cancel this, you're not going to talk me out of it, just try to get that cancellation in before we draft so we don't have to refund back a premium. Changes must be sent in writing before the effective date so that we can get in there and actually make those adjustments. If you need brochures or supplies, contact your marketing director, but we have thousands of these brochures here. They're on hard stock, glossy, very nice print, but a lot of you may just be over the phone and may not need supplies. But if you do go out in the field from time to time and do a belly-to-belly sell, feel free to call us. We can supply you with as many brochures as you need. Maybe you're going to a convention and you have a little booth set up and you want to market the plan there or advertise for the plan there. We can send you out 100 or 200 depending on what that need or the situation is. Excuse me. This is the last slide, folks. We're getting into commission. I'm not going to talk about numbers because that's not what I'm here for. What I'm here today to tell you is how convenient we pay. Okay, we pay every week. With this particular accident plan, if you're submitting it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you get paid that Friday. And then it clears your account generally by Monday. Some banks clear it a little sooner. You may have the money in your account by Saturday, but a lot of banks don't clear it until Sunday of midnight, and then it's in your account by Monday morning. I want to talk a little bit about our renewals, and this would be for advanced agents. We run the renewal commission on the 20th, okay? So each month on the 20th, we run a commission cycle for all business paid on the second month and thereafter. The monthly statement also provided in the commission detail portal where you may view all your statements. You won't have access to this until you write your first case. Then you'll be given a number with a letter in the beginning. So it'll be one letter with 3 numbers. Once you get that, we have links all over our website showing you how to access commissions, but if you want to call me, I can walk you in there. You do have the ability to change that password when you log in. it does become encrypted on our end, so we would not be able to retrieve that password for you. So if you do end up changing the password, make sure that it's something that you personally know and can remember, so that we don't have to have it reset. If the 20th falls on a weekend, then renewals will run on the Friday prior to the weekend. New business may be run earlier in the week if needed to accommodate renewals or holidays. Again, this would be for just advanced agents that are getting advanced. By the way, we do a 4 or a 6 month advance depending on credit, and we have a $500 reserve that we put in place. And if you don't know what that means, it means that 25% of everything that you sell premium-wise will go towards the reserve. The reserve is your little nest egg to cover your chargebacks and debits. Okay, if your client cancels before their advancing, runs out, we will actually pull that out of the reserve account and pay for the debit that way. But if it caps out at 500, then you'll get your over and above on the 20th of each month. That is your renewal date. We really don't have enough time to jump into the value met. I wish we did, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up for Q&A on the accident plan that we at least just discussed. We do have another product available to you guys. Unfortunately, we just can't train on it in the next 15 minutes. So I'm just going to open up Q&A regarding the accident plan. Feel free to ask your questions now.
Other than that, I think that we are pretty good. I think that question-wise, we are in the green.
Good, excellent. That's usually a good sign that I covered every detail real well, even though I do enjoy questions. But hey, again, thank you for the opportunity. I'm glad I was able to at least get this great product out, and everybody's aware of it now. If anybody has questions or concerns beyond the meeting, they're more than welcome to call us anytime. We are the support role for the agents, so just let them know to lean on us as much as they need.
Excellent. Thank you for your time today, Eric. And again, we did go ahead and record this, and for any of the other AHCP agents that are online or that had to drop off early, we will get this distributed and uploaded accordingly as well.
Excellent, Robert. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and that goes towards the agents. Good selling, and I wish everybody luck for OEP this year. So go out and kill it.
Thanks, Eric. Take care.
Thanks, Robert.